Gawana. I am the executive manager of the Sonar Company. I've been with the team for over a year now, and I've really enjoyed seeing the company grow to what it is today.
So I'm Kat Dazan. I'm co-founder and COO of Active Capital, an investment firm based here in San Antonio. And at Active Capital, we invest in seed stage SaaS technology startups.
My name is Krista Covey. I'm the president of First Flight Venture Center. We are located in the Research Triangle Park in North Carolina.
Hi, I'm Kathy Starnes. I never thought of myself as a woman in the tech world, but in reflecting on my life and my career, everything I've done has been in the tech world.
My name is Dalal Kanafani Terracina. I'm the CEO of Moxie Dating App, a one-of-a-kind app to be released in the fall.
My name is Michelle Klum. I am the VP of the Sonar Company, and I have a BS in mechanical engineering and went back to school and got my master's in business after I decided that I liked working with people a lot more than simply designing. I've worked in the refrigeration industry, oil and gas industry, office seating industry, as well as another startup company that we sold to a $120 million company a few years ago. So that's how I got my start in startups.
Probably when I first started in business, I've always been an entrepreneur at heart, but I truly believe that every business, for the most part nowadays, have some type of technology component. And so no matter what type of industry you're in, you probably have some type of technology that you're using. So I'd say at the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey is when I really started getting into technology.
In 2019, I interviewed for a communications and social media position with the company. After my interview, they asked me to come on full-time for a larger role, and I was the first United States hire for the Sonar Company.
I was expecting all my decisions to be about design and user experience. Instead, there are millions of other decisions we confront every day to make the app as fluid as possible.
I think to be in the tech world, your personality has to be a certain way to be able to grasp fast-moving pieces and technology. So it has changed me, but certainly for the better. I think of things differently. I look at a problem and try to think of all angles, how it works, how it moves, how to solve it, how to repair it.
So the most surprising part of my technological journey in my career, as well as now becoming an investor in technology-based organizations and tech startups, is that I'm so intrigued now about advances and things I never thought I would be able to speak to or be curious about. I think being part of the Sonar Company and the great team and just learning about the innovations and the multiple ways and solutions that are available in this technology.
Nothing is exactly how I imagined it. In some ways, it's so much more, especially in the technology aspect. I mean, technology itself is so broad. And so it's all about, and the way that I think about technology, it's how can you best solve a problem, right? And so it's using tools, techniques, skills, data, knowledge, and so many things to really solve a problem. And so I guess in one aspect, it's just much bigger than I had ever anticipated.
Working for a startup is definitely challenging. You don't have as many resources as you would working for a corporation, but that just makes it more fun. I'd say that one of the biggest challenges we've faced as a company is how to continue having a profitable company during COVID. I know many other businesses are experiencing the same thing. So we took the position of how can we use this to our advantage? How can we pivot and make another product so we can stay afloat? And I think that we've really learned so much from these challenges and this challenging time.
I immigrated to this country with 2 babies, and despite being a top student, I was expected to be a homemaker and a mother first and foremost. My biggest challenge was overcoming this expectation of of myself and allowing myself to follow my dreams.
Well, it's no secret there are not a lot of women in the tech industry. And I think going into a firm that you felt and you saw you were sometimes the only woman in the room, I'm actually quite comfortable in that because I felt like the team setting, everybody's working towards a greater good of a cause. But it's definitely noticeable in certain settings where being the only woman, I felt I really needed to make sure that I was assertive, I was vocal. I didn't want to get lost in those rooms. Notice that I changed personality a little bit to be a lot stronger in my presence. But I think I wouldn't call it a challenge, but I was definitely aware at times being the only woman in the room.
Perception is, in some cases, that females don't understand the technology or don't understand the nuances of technology. And a lot of the female founders that I work for or work with that are part of either the incubator or accelerator programs, they have the same situations or same examples where maybe they're making a pitch for whatever technology they have or whatever research they have, and they get asked very different questions than their male counterparts, which is unfortunate. So there's a lot of bias. And it's not good bias at this point. Again, that's another point. We have a long way to go.
A dear friend of mine is a genius in the accounting world. She's a partner at a very prestigious firm and she speaks at conferences. About 15 years ago, her firm had adopted a new technology to help their business be competitive and to grow. Well, this genius, successful businesswoman was really struggling with this new technology. So she called her IT folks and support partners multiple times a day when this launched. And ultimately they would tell her, "I'm really sorry, but you have an ID10T error." And she said, "Wow, I have those quite frequently." She continued to call and have these issues as the technology was expanding their organization, but she was struggling with how to adopt this. About 3 months into these problems, and she's getting better adopting this technology, she called the IT folks again, and he told her, she said, "I think I've got an ID10T error." And he said, "You know what, I have to be honest with you. It's time that we let you know what that is." So he said, "Will you please write down on a piece of paper, ID10T." So she wrote, so this is the error in technology that her technology team was telling her every time that she was frustrated that she was experiencing because she couldn't understand the new technology and couldn't get it. Fortunately, she had a good sense of humor about it, but this was a story about women in technology and facing some adversity.
I would say one of the greatest lessons I've learned is nothing comes easy. Everything worth having or worth achieving takes a lot of hard work and months of dedication. Anything that does come easy is probably too good to be true.
I have learned to wear many hats on a daily basis. It has been a learning experience and continues to be. The tech world is not stagnant and it's ever evolving.
So probably the greatest lesson that I've learned at the Sonar company happened after the unexpected passing of our CEO, Nick Hayward. That happened a few months ago in July. And the key takeaway from that is that the world is ever changing. You never know what hand you're going to be dealt. But as long as you have great people in your life, and Nick was very good at hiring great people and hiring great people to be on our board. So even without him here, we all know exactly what he wanted with his company, where he wanted to go and where his passions lay. So we're all very centered and focused on keeping his mission moving forward because he was so very clear about what he wanted.
Initially, that's one thing that I started to really focus on in my career is extending the hand and trying to really help other female employees and those that were in tech, that we could always be stronger together and help each other.
I think women should continue aggressively pursuing opportunities in the tech world, because right now at this place in time, there's a world of opportunities, and the applications for these innovations, it applies to so many industries. It's a multidisciplinary solution. You could be in healthcare, you could be in finance, economics, you could be in sonar, you could be in marketing. There's so many diverse opportunities. It's an exciting place to be right now.
You don't necessarily have to be a coder or a programmer. You just need to be a methodical, creative thinker to be successful in the tech world.
Tech is ever evolving, and startups can go in so many different directions every day. You really have to learn how to think quickly on your feet and adapt to a new situation or to a new environment.
Say yes. Say yes to opportunities. Say yes to meeting new people. Say yes to taking on more projects. Just be constantly curious and constantly open to new things. I think that's, something we hear, time management, you got to say no and don't take on too many things. And yes, that is right to a point. But as you're learning something new, you have to be open. You have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to make mistakes. And I think that can be really helpful. But in the end, very, very beneficial, especially as you're starting the path in technology.
I don't think it's ever too late to start a career in anything that you love. If you should have a passion or ideas to contribute and improve the world, you definitely should do it.
So I started investing and engaging deeper in tech companies and tech startups when I turned 50. So I don't think it's ever too late to become more involved and start asking deeper questions and broadening your horizon in the technology space. Again, I think there's so many opportunities right here, right now, to deepen your breadth and scope. Now's the time to engage, no matter what age you are.
Not to be afraid. The industry is male dominated, 75% of the industry is male, but females bring a unique perspective, a different way of thinking than the male brain. So jump in with both feet, because you have something to offer them.
It's never too late. In fact, it's better, because not only are you bringing and understanding what's being built, but you take your soft skills and all the education and your experience and you add to it, which really broadens what you can offer to that company or to that startup.